feel young again. I can get up on this thing. I want to thank you all for being here. Most of us have something that we can be doing on a Saturday morning, but here we are saying no to amnesty, so God bless you all. A year ago, how many of you thought you'd be having to stand up to your government month after month after month telling them no? No to health care, no to government takeovers, no to opening our borders. Most of us were living our lives thinking that our elected representatives were representing us. But little by little, we began realizing that they were not. They were representing their own needs. They were growing in power. They were growing in their own financial wealth. And we woke up to it and were shocked. We realized something had to be done, and most of us, last April 15th, took to the streets with loud voices and said no. What I'm saying to you today, we've heard a lot on amnesty against the bill, so I'm not going to cover that again, but I want to warn you about an initiative that's coming up on the June ballot. It's called the Top 2. It sounds really good. It talks about getting rid of the political bantering and partying. It makes it sound like you're going to have an open primary. So I want to warn you to take a look at that bill, get online and look at it. What it's trying to do is take away our representative republic. We are a democracy, but we are a democracy that is a representative republic. That means that we can vote people into office to represent our views, to represent our morals, to represent America. What this bill will do is to allow everyone to throw their hat into the primaries, and across America people will vote, and then the top 2 of everyone who's running will do a runoff in November. So if Acorn decides to do what they've done in the states where there have been challenges, they're now indicted in 13 different states, they can, through whatever means possible, force a popular vote so that by the June balloting time you can have 2 very liberal, very progressive people running against each other. And in that way, the conservatives who support America, who can support our Constitution, will lose our vote completely. So what I'd like to challenge you as Tea Party, everyday Americans who are realizing that the game has been changed. If we want to keep our representative voice, we need to get the word out. We need to become Paul Revere to every person you know, to your neighbors, to your work associates, to your churches. You need to let them know that this bill will take away the vote for the conservative voice to be represented. Just like the propositions, only 13% of us got out and voted, but we voted down one of the biggest tax hikes potential in California. So I encourage you, again, we are grassroots. We are Americans. We are everyday people. We're not paid to be out here. We come because we care. We come because we love this country. We come because our voice still counts. If you want your voice...
Colonized Mexico. This man, Robert Rosa, was a Border Patrol agent. 4 people came across the border. No one knows exactly why. He got out of his truck, left his truck running. They were able to overpower him and shoot him to death with his own gun. They shot him 3 times in the back of the head because they could. My theory is that when violence like that happens, they're trying to intimidate American law enforcement like they have intimidated Mexican law enforcement. And they have intimidated American politicians. The politicians, the government per se, is afraid to get the illegal alien and sympathetic native-born Americans riled up. Literally thousands of people are being murdered right across the border in the border cities. And again, it's not crime. When the people killed Robert Rosa, it cost a lot of people a lot of money because it closed down the border to drug and immigrant smuggling. So clearly it was not a criminal action, it was a political action. It was a violent political action. It was an act of war. It was an act of guerrilla war. About 3 weeks ago, a Border Patrol agent shot to death an individual in Arizona who was trying to kill him with rocks. I found sort of innocent to realize that probably even today more human beings have been killed by rocks than have been killed by gunshots. And it took a long time in history to make that statistic, but a lot of people have been killed by rocks and surgical riots. So, if you don't believe me, read about it. And when you think about people throwing rocks on men, I think Palestinians, Israelis, Irish resistance, Irish Republican Army, not too late, but Iran, you have people out in the streets throwing rocks at armed policemen. There are political people committing violence to further their goal. That's war. We are in a war. We are in the beginning of a slow, grungy, guerrilla war. And the border does not begin to stop. If you have hundreds of people disappearing in all the border towns in the United States, you have to really look for the information on that, but you've got a lot of murders. You have a lot of police officers killed. You have Jamil Shaw. Jamil Shaw was basically killed by political terrorists, if you think about it. There was no criminal motive for that. He was killing somebody to make a point, make a statement. So make it short and sweet, or at least sweet. We need to put pressure on the people that can control the border, to control the border. Build a wall.
That's right.
A wall never lies. A wall can't be turned on and off. A wall can't be... One thing the Border Patrol has told me in discussions is there are times when they're basically pulled out of an area and they're told to go look somewhere else. And it isn't so bad as, people are going to be crossing, they don't want you to see them, but they do maneuver them from one area in the border to another. And wherever they aren't, the other side knows to come through fairly easy. So we need a wall that just sits there and stops people. And everybody here needs to understand that just because you're not on the border doesn't mean you're safe from somebody murdering you for a political statement. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. We have another speaker coming up, Carla Bonney from the Ventura County Tea Party. Let's give her a warm welcome.
Thank you. We have a lot of people that came in from Ventura County today. You guys want to yell if you're here from Ventura? Okay. I'm Carla Bonney, and I'm the organizer for the Ventura County Tea Party. And there will be another one in April on the 15th. What I have for you guys today is a question. How many of you really believe the grand old lie that Nancy Pelosi and others in Congress repeat to us on a continuous basis? The lie is they're taking jobs that nobody else will take. Right. It's a lie. The reason that people will not take those jobs is because they pay a low wage. Okay? The people that come here from other countries are willing to live differently than we in America have chosen to create as a living situation. And that means that there's all kinds of taxing on the American way of life. Now, there's a solution to this. It's a multifaceted solution, and it's why we're gathered here today. The solution is stop hiring illegal immigrants. You have the ability to hire legal immigrants, and you have the ability to hire citizens. Now, one thing I'm going to propose is if the politicians are willing to overlook the fact that illegal immigrants are not paying all the taxes that legal immigrants and citizens are paying, they should overlook the same taxes for the legal immigrants and citizens that take those same low-paying jobs. Okay, turn the other way. If they can turn the other way so that these illegals take our jobs and stay here illegally, they can turn the other way for the legal citizens that are now out of work and going and collecting their paycheck that's not paying for all their needs. What's wrong with determining what's considered a job that low-paying people will not, or that legal people will not take? Well, let's look at some of them. Some of them are farm workers, right? Some of them are construction people. How many are displaced construction people here, or people that have lost jobs? Right. There's lots of us. How many have lost jobs to illegal immigrants? How many have lost jobs to illegal immigrants that now make a good amount of money per hour? Because they started at an illegal rate in an illegal manner, not paying taxes, and now all of a sudden they've gone up higher and they've taken their higher up jobs. So it's a fallacy. There's no such thing as a job that an American won't take. What it is that America has made it too hard, too litigious, too taxed for our people to take some of these low-priced jobs. How many of you people have kids in high school and college that cannot get part-time work? And why is it? Illegal immigrants are taking those jobs. Illegal aliens. They're both. Immigrants are illegally, aliens in this country illegally. And sorry, I sometimes get politically correct. But they're here nonetheless illegally. So what we must do is we must stop hiring these people. We must try to get legislation through people like Sue where we declare that there's certain jobs that the government is not going to require the same tax